Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. We are going to be going through Kindle Unlimited books, specifically thrillers. And I'm going to read a couple of them and I'm going to report my thoughts on the books. First up, I am reading The Mirror Girls and I'm about 20% into it. I am not like super far into it, but I will say I'm enjoying it. So essentially, the concept of this book is that there's what seems to be this house. It has a bunch of mirrors in it, and there's just like a bunch of kids in there. You can like rent out these rooms, and then there's all girls, okay, except for one guy who was like a therapist or something, and he's no longer a therapist. Don't really know, but this new girl that just got brought in, her name is Winona, and she stays at this mirror house, and the therapist's name is Simon, and it's just like, he has like a really weird aura about him, I guess you could say, where like every single time he's talking, everybody else is like completely silent. It's giving they're terrified of him. But this is like flashing into like the future with like transcripts and stuff. It's giving We Used to Live Here kind of, where there's like something that happens like in the future. This is just a story that happened in the past, but something happens, and you know this like within the first like page essentially, that something happens and only one girl survives. And this is just going through like what happened up until that point, and then you're getting transcripts of like this one girl that survived, who she's talking to like a reporter. It's so like creepy, okay? Like something happens at this house and we're trying to figure it out, okay? As it's like all going on, and I'm enjoying it. That's for sure. I'm having a great time. It's a little bit different than what I normally read, and I really, really liked We Used to Live Here. When We Used to Live Here was like random like documents and stuff. This one's like transcripts from like a show that's like came out and stuff. There's like, oh, the camera pans here, and then all this stuff. Oh, what is that other series that did that? Oh, not series, that other thriller book. I can't think of what it's called, but that's what it's giving. Something is happening. It's weird that there's only one guy. It's weird that everybody's just silent when he's there and he's talking. Like, I don't know, something's happening, and I'm excited to find out what is going on. Okay, guys, I have about 2 hours until I have to take my dog to the vet for his vaccines. So I have about 2 hours to go in my book in the Mirror House Girls. We're going to see if I can finish that book before I have to take him to the vet. We will see. I think it will be close, but I'm up for a challenge, okay? Okay. So I'm just going to sit in my little corner here, read the book, lock in. I'm going to light a candle. I'm having a coffee, and I'm just going to see how far we can get. And by we, I mean me. Literally, I'm going to go brick my phone. Otherwise, I'm just going to be here, and I'm just going to be constantly scrolling on my phone. So, to prevent myself from being distracted, I'm going to go and brick my phone. This would be my second time today having my phone bricked. So, I brick it at night. So, I brick it around 8 p.m. Like, you can set schedules. So, at 8 p.m. every single day, it's bricked until I unbrick it in the morning. Well, I forgot to unbrick it this morning before I left because I got up so early. And I forgot. So, normally it's not that big of a deal. Yeti, enough. Normally, it's not that big of a deal because I just go to the gym and then I come back home. However, I had work I had to do this morning, and I needed to send text messages to my clients for the visit. And I wasn't able to get into my messages because I have them bricked. I brick like all my social media. Anyways, I am going to brick this thing so that I can have uninterrupted time. I have to leave in pause while I do some math. Okay, it's 1:40 right now, and I have to leave at 3:50. So that's like 2 hours and 10 minutes. There we go. It's bricked. Also, what I have on in the background is a Read With Me by Brittany Manon, I think, on the TV. Yeah. I think that says Manon. I don't know. The TV's at an angle. But I swear by her Read With Me's. They're so nice. They're so relaxing. And they're my favorite Read With Me's. Truly. I will try to have like a screenshot of one of the videos because I'm constantly listening to the videos. Even if I just clicked a button. Even if I am just roaming around the house and I'm not even reading, I have her videos on. Like, and also there's no ads, okay? Well, there's an ad at the beginning, but there's not an ad throughout the video, which is game changer because I don't want to pay for YouTube Premium. I'm a fan. In fact, I might eventually end up doing a Read With Me because at 5 o'clock, well, like 5:50, the lights that I have, so these tea lights, and they go on at 5:50. I have about 12 of them. I do need to order some more because I just feel like I need more. I need more like cozy lighting, but I'm thinking of doing a video, like a Read With Me for like 30 minutes or whatnot as the sun is going down. Anyways, I am getting distracted here. So, we have my candle. It's the Tahitian Vanilla by Sand and Pot. I have my chai because I love myself some chai. This is my second glass of chai, but it's fine. If I'm productive, it's okay. I've been yapping for a while. It is 1:44, and we're going to get this show on the road. Okay, actually, one last thing. I think I'm going to update you guys about where I currently am. So 56% in. They've kind of switched the plan of, they now have a mission, okay? And they're using TikTok. If you like cults, this is a good book, okay? I'm fascinated by cults. I just think it is just insane how people can just follow somebody so blindly. It is evident right now in America. But anyways, just to follow somebody so blindly when they're doing wrong things. The red flags are there and they're just like ignoring them, you know? It's just so fascinating, like the psychology of it and how it all like happens. And I'm eating this up because I didn't even know that there was a cult aspect to this book. But I feel like this last like 46%, 44% is going to be very action-packed, because that's how most thrillers are, especially now with what has happened. Like, some people just got introduced. What's going to happen to these people? I'm intrigued, that's for sure. I swear right now, if something happens to these guinea pigs. I'm at this scene where a blender is brought out. Okay, I'm literally using my freaking phone to light this up. Okay, so I literally just finished Mirror House Girls, and the ending, I like saw it coming. Okay, I literally saw that coming, but I was like, maybe it won't happen. Maybe it won't happen, but it did. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. So those are my immediate thoughts, but I'm gonna sleep on it and maybe come back like tomorrow or in a couple of days with like my final thoughts. But at this moment, I think I'm going to give it a 3. Like, it was easy to get through and it was fun, but I did not really enjoy that ending. I thought it was going to surprise me in like a different way. It concluded really fast, and I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm gonna sleep on it and we're gonna see. But yeah. Okay, hello guys. So the second book for this video was supposed to be The Surrogate Mother by Frida McFadden, because it was like a new release. Now, a lot of her books are being like re-released, and I already read that book and I just didn't realize it. But when I went to go click on it last night, it said that I already read it, and I was like, oh, okay, so we're switching what I'm reading. So instead of reading that book, we are going to read Such Quiet Girls by Noelle West Hilly. I have probably butchered that. So this is essentially about some kids that are abducted and then buried alive, which I believe that I don't know, that sounds very similar to something else. This doesn't say anything about it. Oh, okay. It does. It says Such Quiet Girls was inspired by actual events. And I'm huge into true crime. I love watching that. I'm constantly listening to it or watching true crime podcasts and stuff. So I'm familiar with that story. I don't know like all the details because it's been a little bit since I have like listened to a podcast about it, but I'm excited to see how this is told. I am literally going to look up Trapped in Storage Container. There's another story about a Thai cave rescue, and they were exploring caves when a storm happened, and it caused a flood, trapping them inside. Anything about caves creeps me out, but that's not why we're here. It's the Chowchilla kidnapping, and armed men hijacked a school bus. They abducted the driver, 26 children, which ranged from ages 5 to 14, and imprisoned them in a truck trailer buried in a quarry. And they managed to escape before the kidnappers could issue a ransom demand. They all survived, but a lot of them suffered from PTSD, which makes sense. I mean, you're trapped underground. And they were actually, so their sentences, 36 years, 39 years, and 46 years. I'm surprised they actually got that long, because like currently, or like in the, like the current justice system, people just don't get put away for as long as they should be. However, right now, they are paroled. In 2022 is when all 3 kidnappers have been paroled. Crazy. But they were in there a while. I don't know, that's interesting. I am looking forward to see how the author, does this. We're gonna read it right now. I am currently at a house sit just for like a couple hours. It's literally just from like 1 to 9. So I'm just hanging out with this senior dog. He got diagnosed with dementia, so he does a lot of pacing, which is probably what you hear in the background. Anyways, I'm just gonna hang out with him while his parents are at a wedding for their daughter, I believe. I'm gonna get to reading, and I'm excited. I'm excited for this book. I don't read a lot of books that are based off of true events that I've actually like know about, so this is exciting. Okay guys, I have 20 minutes left of Such Quiet Girls, so I'm going to finish it with you guys, and we're gonna see if there's any crazy plot twists. It's crazy. I'm done chapter 51. because I think this is fun. I'm gonna open this on camera. Heck yeah, heck yeah. I don't drink soda often, but we had a family over for my birthday, and I told my husband, I was like, can you go and get like some soda so we have more options than just milk and water and chai. Okay. He went there. I should have given him more directions because this man came home with 4 packs of soda. Okay. There's not that many of us. So now we're trying to go through all of this soda that we have. So I've been like limiting myself to like one every other day. You guys saw I finished Such Quiet Girls, finished that book. And I will say I'm not like, I don't really know how I was expecting it to end. But I mean, it ended in like a fine way. It ends very similarly to the actual story where they get out. So if you're familiar with that story, then it's the same thing. I don't know. I was expecting it to end in like a different way, but it was okay. I'm like settling on a 3-star because it's not bad, but I feel like if I didn't already know like the story that it's based off of, like the true event, then maybe it would have been different. I don't know, because I already knew how it was going to end. So like there was little to shock me. So I feel like maybe the author could have done something that was a little bit like different and there was like a twist or something, but there really wasn't one. I'm just gonna settle on a 3-star for now. But if you have no idea about this story at all, read it. However, you will probably know about the story because I did go through the crime at the beginning of me reading this book. If it sounds interesting to you, I would recommend reading it. I don't think it's a bad book. It's nothing like super thrilling in my opinion, but it was okay. It was okay. I think my favorite part about it was I thought it was going to follow just the one girl, Jessa, which is the bus driver. I thought it was just going to follow her. It ends up following one of the kidnappers, one of the girls on the bus, and then the mother of one of the kids, and then Jessa. And I really liked that aspect because I think it just added more to it because you were getting obviously like the killer's point of view, and then you were getting the mother and how she's dealing with her having to try to come up with all of this money to get all the kids out and stuff. And it was just like very interesting. I really enjoyed that. I do think I will try a couple more books by this author and see how I'm feeling, but I mean, there's a chance that this could be an author that's kind of like Frida McFadden or like Lucinda Berry. More so Frida McFadden, where their books are just like average and they're not bad by any means, but they're nothing like crazy. It's just like a read to read when you're like looking for something that requires like little to no brain power. I enjoyed my first book by her. It wasn't bad by any means. And yeah, I'm excited to see what else the author comes out with. The next book for this video is going to be the next book is going to be Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney, I think, which I don't know if I've read any books by her. It is on Kindle Unlimited. I've heard good things about it. I do think it's rated pretty highly, so we're gonna try that and see. But once I start that book, I will update you guys about what it's even about because I have no idea. I just chose a bunch of books that looked interesting, and that's just how we're going right now. I have been reading Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney. I am 40% through this book, and essentially it follows this girl and something happens, an accident happens, and she is in a coma, and it is flashing to like when she was younger and she was writing diary entries, and then to before the accident, and you're slowly trying to like piece together what happened because she doesn't know what has happened. So she is essentially a like unreliable narrator, which is definitely given in the description of the book. Like she literally says that sometimes she lies, so you're trying to like figure out and piece together what she's lying. And there's this guy that's coming in and is being like really sus, and you're trying to like figure out who this is. I think I know who it is though. We'll see if I'm right, but I think I know. So far, I'm enjoying the book. I think I've either read one other book by her or no other books. I'm not sure. I need to kind of look and see, but I am enjoying this book. It's given brain damage by Frida McFadden. I think that's what it's called, where this girl gets into an accident. She gets brain damage, and I think she is trying to like relearn how to talk, something like that. Hang on, where's my cellular device? Let me see, because I actually really enjoyed that book, and I hear nobody talking about it, and I think more people really need to. And I read it so long ago that I don't remember. It's about this doctor, Dr. Charlie McKenna, and she has everything. She has a really good career as a dermatologist. She has a really big apartment overlooking Central Park. She also has a handsome lawyer husband. But then one night, a bullet rips through her right side of her skull and she loses everything. And she is struggling to recover from her brain injury, but she realizes that the events of that fateful night are trapped in the damaged right side of her brain, and now she must put the jigsaw pieces together to discover the identity of the man who tried to kill her before he finishes the job he started. So good. So good. I enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. And this is kind of giving that, except this girl's in a coma, and Dr. McKenna was not. She was fully conscious. She was just trying to piece things together. Crazy. I'm enjoying this book. I can't wait to see what the plot twist is. I've heard that it is crazy, so I'm excited to get to that point. But yeah, I only have about 60% left, and I have a little bit of time, so we're gonna see how much reading I can get done out of this book. I love it when it says that I'm only 92% through the book and that there's 22 minutes left. But there's not, because the acknowledgements just came.
The what? Oh, the acknowledgements?
Yeah, which means that the page count is off.
Or it's counting.
No, it doesn't count the acknowledgements. It's way off. Well, it has another one of her books in here, but that shouldn't count it. Annoying. As you guys saw, I finished Sometimes I Lie last night, and I didn't really share any of my thoughts, but I've been able to sleep on it, so let's go through what my thoughts are. And overall, I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was really well done. I will say that I was expecting the plot twist to be a little bit more twisty, considering I've heard so many crazy things about the plot twists. I didn't find them to be all that crazy. I didn't guess them or anything. Like, it didn't really shock me by any means. But, like, the major plot twist, I figured it out. And I was like, okay. Okay, and I mean that's pretty typical for me. Like I normally can figure out the main plot twist, and I just go in knowing that that's just how it's going to be. And it's not even like I'm really searching for it. I'm kind of just reading it, and it's just so obvious to me that I can figure it out and everything. Sometimes I don't figure out like the like little plot twists, but I figure out the main one. And it's rare if I don't figure it out. But I thought that this book was pretty good. I mean, it kept me entertained the entire time. I do, however, wish that I read it over the course of a couple of days instead of over the course of a week. I think that it would have improved my like reading experience, but that is completely on me. And I don't know. Normally, when I read thrillers, I read them in a couple of days. For whatever reason, this one took me a lot longer to read, but I've been really busy, so that's most likely why. But overall, it was a good read. I think if you're looking for something that is a little bit different from thrillers, this could be a really good book. But it's nothing like super wow or anything. And I ended up giving it a 3 stars on Goodreads. And that's pretty on par with what I give thrillers. But this is going to conclude the end of this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want me to do another video like this, just let me know and I will gladly do it. There's a lot of thriller books on Kindle Unlimited, and I got into my reading journey by reading like thrillers and mysteries, so I love doing them and I love reading them, and it's just it's a good time, even though like I can guess how it's going to end and all the plot twists for the most part. I still enjoy reading them. I just don't read them as often anymore just because of the fact that they're so easy for me to predict. But I mean, they're very like low brain power, easy, fast, bingeable reads, and I enjoy it for that alone. Anyways, that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one.